And welcome to another edition of In the Zone's Race Talk Live Online. I hope I got that all right. Dave Chevrolet, I got it right? Cool. I got it right, Bobby. I'm happy.
Seems like it's been like months since we've done this.
Well, we had an issue. Dave's family ended up.
Yeah, we was talking about that.
So they're doing better, and Dave's back.
That's good.
We had to skip a couple of weeks here, but that's all right.
And I messaged these guys, and they were fine with waiting another week, so thanks for that. We're here now. We're ready to go.
Ready to do it. Come on down. Join us here at Chuck's Bar, 600 North Santa Fe, beautiful downtown Salina, just a few steps north of the tracks on Santa Fe. Nice place inside here tonight. Sure beats doing this in my shop.
The beer is nice and cold, too.
Nice and chilly.
You can't have one.
You're too young. Sorry. Well, we're racing. Daytona's underway. They had their. It's not the Bud Shootout anymore. They changed the name and changed the format again.
Yeah, they ought to have the word crash in there somewhere.
Crash Fest.
They didn't. They had a terrible time, didn't they?
You know, Tony Stewart's sitting out due to a back injury. You know, in an off-road vehicle, kind of like a dune buggy thing, and he wasn't going very fast. He just crashed it down real hard.
It bottomed out and
hurt his back. You know, he's got some steel rods in there, worse than what, I didn't think it'd be that bad, but had surgery. So he's sitting out. They put Brian Vickers in his car, and Vickers didn't have a good night.
No, ended up with a flat tire and caused a big wreck, and
Wasn't the big one, but it was one of the big ones.
It was one of them, yeah.
Racing at Daytona, Bobby, it's always like this. We got a new car again this year. They've got some new rules packages. What are your thoughts?
I think the racing's going to be good. I think
you think it'll tighten up the racing again?
I think they've done a good job to fix all that. Yeah.
Restrictor plate racing, though. Do you like this stuff at Daytona?
It's like a crapshoot. I mean, you never know who's going to win. Like, who would have guessed Chase Elliott had been on the pole?
I shared a picture today with Chase Elliott sitting in Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s lap. There was a lot of animosity between those two, Dale Earnhardt and Chase's dad, Bill Elliott, on the racetrack. There was a rivalry.
Oh, yeah.
But they were friends off the racetrack. People don't understand that and realize that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. He's the youngest kid to ever sit on the pole for the 500. Yeah, he's good.
He's good. We'll see how it plays out in the 500 coming up this Sunday.
Yep. Got the trucks. Trucks are on Friday.
Yeah.
The ARCA race was last Saturday, I believe. Yeah, didn't get to watch that.
A good friend of mine that races in the ARCA series, Eric Caudell, we're going to have him call in sometime this year. Didn't make the show. Was down there qualifying, just couldn't get in. On points, too many.
Tough, yeah.
Some other people used their provisionals, and he qualified like 34th. But everybody that used their provisionals, like 10 of them, bumped him on out of there.
That's too bad.
And he's out of Oklahoma City.
Huh.
So be interesting to see how he does the rest of the year. The thing I like about this restrictor plate racing, guys can go from the front to the back pretty quickly. It's a matter of the draft, and we'll see if that all comes into play Sunday.
Yeah, I'm looking for a good race.
What's your bet? Who you thinking?
Well, it's kind of funny. Terry Malm is down in Arizona right now, soaking up the sun. The jerk. Yeah, he said it was like 90 degrees.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I didn't want to talk about weather to him.
Yeah.
But anyway, he went to the casino and had some luck and was calling all of his buddies, wanting to know if he wanted to take some of that money and make some bets for us. So I put some money down on Junior.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did.
I'm proud of you.
I did.
I'm proud of you. It's about darn time.
So hopefully he'll come through. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty hard to bet against Junior at a restrictor plate race. But
Mark Martin used to call Daytona and Talladega the lottery, so anybody can win either one of those. So
exactly.
We'll see how it plays. I hope for a good race. I hope it's not caution-filled by wrecks.
Yeah.
And see if the equipment will hold up.
Get through that, yeah. So we have had some dirt track stuff going on.
Yeah.
Jerry Phillips and David Murray and, of course, all the other guys that travel. I mean, Hunter Marriott and Ricky Thornton Jr. Of course, they're all from it. But anyway, they've been down there in Arizona racing for 5 days. Jerry had a little bad luck the first day. Won a heat race, got in the A feature, and then come back and won a B feature another night and got in the A, and didn't really have any tremendous luck, but they said they had a lot of fun, and so we watched it on Speed Shift TV one night, so it was pretty cool.
Sounds like they had a good time.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Yeah. Got home.
He was racing, wasn't he racing the 6-cylinder in the beginning?
Yeah, and it didn't. It broke. Yeah, had trouble with it.
He still feels like he can get power enough out of that 6-cylinder to make up for the weight difference with the V8.
And,
sometimes it works.
You know, a lot of the guys talk about, you know, the crate motor having aluminum heads on it and the motor being so much lighter, taking weight off the front of the car, and he's kind of doing the same thing. I imagine he's probably down on horsepower compared to a crate.
Sure.
But, I mean, it looked like it might go.
Well, they've proven the fact that you don't need all that horsepower with racing the crate engine.
Yeah.
He is running the V6. Jerry knows his stuff with that thing, though. He's run it a long time.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, he felt bad because this was, you know, he was kind of excited about taking it down there because he, you know, spent a lot of money on it and just had a little thing go wrong with it, and so had to take it out.
Yeah. Put a V8 in.
Yep.
Glad they brought spare parts.
It'd be fun to take a little trip like that. Anyway, you know, they raced like 5 nights at the same track, so
right?
They kind of just stayed
right there.
Yeah,
that'd be fun, I think.
Oh yeah, they had friends come in that they haven't seen for a couple of years, came to the races and visited them, and so yeah, they had a good time.
Good to see him back behind the wheel of that thing too.
Yeah. He's I think he's going to get pretty serious about his racing program this summer. It sounds like I don't know if this is going to be his last one, but supposedly his wife said this is going to be his last one, so he's going to go out with a bang, he said.
I'm afraid he probably listens to her.
Yeah, I think he does.
Speaking about dirt track racing, before we get to our guests, and we're glad they've made it down here tonight, but, you know, now we've got an opportunity here in the central part of the state. You know, we've got, you can take your pick on your Friday night track. RPM Speedway out in Hayes every other Friday night. I don't have their schedule. That's Salina Speedway, of course, on Friday nights. Saturday night, your option in IMCA would be Thunder Hill, of course. And then Sunday, IMCA racing goes to Heartland Park, Topeka.
Yeah. I think I haven't seen the schedule yet, but you talked about Hayes on Friday. I think Hayes is on Saturday night.
Oh, that's right. Hayes is on Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I did get that wrong.
Yeah. But, no, it's going to be
So the guys from out western Kansas could make that trip to Heartland Park, Topeka on a Sunday afternoon.
What's going to be kind of cool is to, I think as far as our plans go, I think we're going to try to run all the Hayes shows. And the one, you know, they race every other week. So on the nights we're off at Hayes, we'll go to Thunder Hill and then spend the night and go to Heartland Park.
Head down to Heartland Park.
Yeah, that's going to work out really good.
I haven't seen the classes. There's a schedule that does interest me quite a bit. NCRA has got 4 shows up at Thunder Hill.
I heard they stepped it up.
And they eliminated the crates. I mean, wait, whoa. Strictly crates for C-Ray and his NCRA stuff in the late models now.
Okay.
And be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, it will. So, yep.
So there's a chance for a pretty decent champion to come out of the central part of the state here.
There is. Yeah, you could race quite a bit every weekend.
As far as IMCA goes.
Right, yeah.
So be interesting.
It will
see how this plays out throughout the summer. Of course, we'll be back on the radio here not too much longer.
April-ish, wouldn't it?
Yeah, April-ish.
Okay,
yeah, so
good.
Lots of stuff in the works.
Seems like all the tracks, they always try to open up earlier and earlier every year. And Beatrice here is in like 3 weeks, I think.
3 weeks, yeah.
Yeah. So
thank goodness I don't have to go up there because we're not close.
Yeah.
We can get close, but we're not that close.
Yeah. I'm working on some cars now. They're not very close either.
I'm like, oh my. I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into the rest of the program with our guests here.
Sure.
Paco's come on down, and of course Britney. Britney, first year in a race car. You have to say yes.
No, they can see her shake her head. Remember? On radio.
Yeah, that's true.
She can shake her head.
How'd it go?
It was pretty fun.
Was it what you expected?
Somewhat.
So did you learn anything?
Yeah.
Did you learn how to go faster?
Yes.
I mean, are your goal? Have you set any goals for this summer? I mean, to surely
Not really.
improve over last year.
Well, do better than last year.
I was going to
but
say, if you don't, Dad's going to find another driver for the car, won't he?
No, we won't.
You got a little brother over here that's growing up, you know.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll race.
He might take over.
No, I don't know if he's going to.
Really?
Yeah.
Why not?
Because he just, every now and then, he tells us, oh, I'm going to race. And then he looks at Dad and says, oh, well, I'm not racing, Dad. And it's, oh, Dad, I'm racing again.
So what's he interested in?
Sports.
Is he into sports?
Yeah, he's more of the baseball, football kind of guy.
Really? Doesn't do basketball? Is he not playing basketball?
He's short and white like the rest of us. And he's got the whole deal with the white man can't jump down pat. I mean,
Okay.
he likes to try, but no.
More of a baseball and football kid.
Yeah.
Huh? Well, there's nothing wrong with that. Yep.
So what'd you think of her accomplishments this year? What'd you think?
I was proud of her. I was real proud of her.
Where'd you finish the season?
Same place I finish every year.
Where's that?
Second.
Got second again, huh?
1 point.
Is that right? Is that close?
1 point.
Wow, I didn't realize
Anything
that.
you could have done in the last race to make that point up?
It
Or
wouldn't
did you
have
do?
rained.
If you did, did you do? Really?
I went into the last night 1 point back and it rained out.
Prior to that race, anything different? Did you have anything this season that would have helped you if it hadn't happened?
Well, I was winning by about quarter of a lap, and the wheel bearing broke after I took the white flag. Car stopped dead in its tracks before I got to turn 3. That cost me about 8 points.
Oh,
Okay.
So that one mechanical failure there blew the motor. I don't know.
You had your fair share of bad luck.
Car was fast enough to make up for it when it ran, but it didn't like to run very often.
Brittany, you finished in the top 10 in points, didn't you?
Yeah, I finished 8th.
8th in points? That's pretty
Nothing
cool.
wrong with that.
Not for first year.
There you go.
And I learned, of course, we had this Line Speedway banquet. Good job with the banquet, by the way.
That was fun.
This Line Speedway folks put that on. Good job. You were one of the Jackson Fuller kids that
Yeah.
got some money from them. That's a pretty neat little thing they got going. Was it this year or last year that you?
I got it last year.
You got it last year. Okay.
Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
helped you get into this year, didn't it?
No, a different one got it
Different
this
one
year.
got it.
Different
well,
one got
okay.
it. Yeah. But
There's a new one every year.
Right.
So.
that's pretty cool how they got that going. That's kind of a neat deal. I mean, everybody that's getting started can always use a little bit of help, and
Oh yeah.
to have that come in, and Stacy Fuller gave away some little trophies. That was pretty cool. So, good job.
Paco, what are you going to do next year? Hold that microphone up really close when you talk, like right here, okay?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hold it up. You got to hold it closer.
You got to get right.
You got to get it
Well,
closer.
I'm trying to talk a little bit louder, but I'm
Yeah.
afraid I'm going to start coughing up a lung or
Don't
something.
be-
Oh,
don't
you've
be
been
coughing
sick?
on
Oh,
me.
man, yeah. It hasn't been a pretty couple of weeks for me here.
What are plans for you for next year? This year,
Really have no idea.
you going to start out with what you got, or
If I ever feel like putting it together.
you haven't even started on it
I
yet?
say you've
Nope.
you've had another car for quite a while, haven't you?
Yeah, I sold a truck that I had and bought Tony Slothauer's hobby stock that he ran last year. And got it in the shop, got it all torn down the rest of the way, and put a fuel cell in it. I've been staring
That's
at it
as far
ever
as
since.
you got.
Why not?
I don't know. I went to bed one night all gung-ho to get after it the next day, and woke up and just didn't really feel like it. So I haven't made it back there yet.
What all does the car need? I mean, does it need a lot of work?
Yeah, it's a bare chassis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
Does it
got
need a
dash
body?
in it. Oh, I've got a body. Just ain't on it.
How long do you think it'd take you to put it together? Do you have an engine and transmission for it?
Yeah. I got to go through them, but I do have them. Got to figure out something with the rear end if I want to actually run the one that I have, or if I want to try to get something a little bit better that I'm not going to break.
Tommy, they came out with the schedule and did they kind of cut back on you guys as far as the sport compacts? Did they cut back on you guys' races a little bit? I know they're going to run the 4 main IMCA classes every week, and then the sport compacts, mod lights, and late models are going to kind of switch off. How many shows you got scheduled?
I want to say they have 6. They have, somebody had said something about them adding a race earlier in the year, so it was 7 now, but I haven't checked the schedule since I heard that to actually confirm it. As far as I know, it was 6.
So, think you might venture Hayes way? I don't know about Thunder Hill. Are they going to run sport compacts?
You know, I haven't seen that schedule. I
know.
just looked at the other one, so.
I know they run them out at Hayes quite often. So, 6 races, that ain't hardly a summer, is it? You need to get the hobby stock together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was the whole plan. I don't know. It's going to cost me more to fix my compact, I think, than it would for me to win the 6 races.
Yeah.
So I was really pushing towards doing the hobby, but not really knowing what I'm doing. It's kind of a little bit of a deterrent on just jumping into it. I mean, I can jump into the compacts and have them whipped back out in no time, but I don't really want to mess up on the hobby stock.
Yeah.
A little bit more money in there.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
What's the sport compact need to get going?
Mine, I got to rebuild the motor again.
Is that something you do every year? Or?
No. The motor I started the year out with last year, that was my 3rd season on it, and I blew it up in Hayes. When we pulled off the track, it sounded like a Folgers can full of marbles. It wasn't very happy. So I bought another one, and that's the one that when I won the race there in Salina, that second feature, the temperature gauge was pegged for the last 4 laps.
Oh,
but
boy.
I wasn't going to let anybody get back around me, so sacrificial lamb, I guess.
Them little 4-cylinders, they probably don't like to get hot, do they?
No, they don't mind getting hot, but
Just
over 300 is a little bit too much.
That's too much, yeah.
I've been told as long as you let them cool down, they're okay.
Well, they are, but the head wasn't.
It wasn't happy, was it?
No. The oil was black. It's not very happy. The oil right now looks like it's chocolate milk, if that tells you anything.
And you haven't pulled it apart or anything, huh?
No. Nope.
It's going to need some attention, it sounds like.
Yeah. I did take the hood off of hers, though.
Did you?
That's as far as I made it.
What do you have to do to hers?
We're going to put it back to a 5-speed.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the advantage?
I know a 5-speed. I know the gearing. The automatics just don't really work out too good for me.
Okay.
The gear is just a little bit different than either of the 2 optional gears on the 5-speed, so the tire size just a little bit off. She tells me the car's doing this, but it doesn't look like it's doing that. If it's got a 5-speed in it, she says it's doing something. I know what the car's doing, so puts it mechanically a little bit more into my hands.
Okay.
So are you going to have to learn how to drive with a clutch now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that doable?
Yeah.
Can you drive
Sure.
a clutch?
No.
We like doing things at the last minute.
Sure.
There you go. Rabbit out of the hat kind of guy, right?
Yeah.
Oh, she'll be all right. I mean, I can set the car up pretty much 2 ways. She'll run either 2nd gear or 3rd gear, and once the green flag drops, she's going to be in what gear she needs.
Oh,
so.
that's how we all do it anyhow.
She shouldn't have any problem.
There are some guys out there shifting in that class. Is that an advantage or no?
No.
How often do you see them win?
I guess I haven't.
There
I've
you
never
go.
heard of anybody shifting at one.
Oh, there's a couple of them that
Oh
shift.
yeah, I know the shift, but I've never seen them win doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I can really say anything. I tend to blow up more than I win, but we try.
And when I check my phone over here, folks, sometimes it's a message from our producers. So He says 13 Sport Compact races out at Hayes this summer. That's not too far of a trip for you.
No, but I'd have to change. My setup for Salina doesn't work very good at Hayes, hence why I blew up.
Oops.
Yeah, when I got my shift light set about 200 RPM less than my rev limiter, and my light never shut off at Hayes. So it's twisting a little harder than it should.
It should. So what's a guy do? Can you put on bigger tires, or I mean, if you go to shift into a different gear, I mean that's probably way too much of his jump, ain't it?
Yeah, they're not a real tight ratio when you get between second and third. That's about the biggest gap that there is on a Neon transmission. And second gear you're going to be wrapping, third gear you're going to be bogging. I mean, it's just the jump in it depends on your final drive gear more than anything. I mean, I've got mine set up to run second gear, taller tires. Works really good in Salina. At Hayes, it just didn't work. It's the same car with the smaller tires, the different transmission running third gear. It works really nice.
So, building cars for yourself, have you built any cars for anybody else? I mean, are you kind of into that, or kind of just?
I've done it. I don't. Yeah, I do it every now and again. I don't really usually like to. It's like if the car does good for him, you're a saint. If the car does bad for him, then you're a piece of trash. So I just kind of.
Oh, come on now. They're not like that, are they?
Everybody's like that. No, I've built
your friends.
Yeah.
So you guys kind of prefer the little Dodge Neon still? I mean, is that pretty much the way to go in that class?
I think so. I mean, the power to weight is a really good ratio on them. It's probably not as good as the bigger motored Hondas, but they're a lot cheaper and an abundance of them.
What won the points championship by 1 point?
Another Neon.
Another Neon? Who was driving that?
Art Bird.
Okay.
He's the guy that won the night my wheel bearing broke.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, that even hurts worse, doesn't it?
It was, yeah.
You can't help a part failure.
Nope. Between Mother Nature and part failures, I had a real good time.
I think Mother Nature hated every race car driver in the state of Kansas last year.
Oh,
She didn't like racing at all.
No.
Yeah.
Or lake activities or anything.
Yeah, that was a crazy summer for sure.
So, young lady, how old are you?
14.
14. Where do you go to school at?
Central.
What grade are you in?
A freshman.
A freshman? Any of your friends think it's cool that you're driving?
I don't know.
What was the biggest challenge for you starting out the year?
I don't really know.
I mean, learning to race around other cars, or figuring the track out, or
It actually wasn't that bad.
it wasn't as bad as
It's
you thought.
pretty easy.
But you had to wait until you had a birthday, right? You missed
Yeah.
2 shows, or you were going to miss a show or something. You could
She had to set out the first 6.
for 6 shows?
Yeah, she only got to run the back half of the season.
Okay, because we had to wait for a birthday, right?
Yeah, and I wanted to keep her at 4 races, so she was still Rookie of the Year eligible for this year.
For this year?
So they got a cap at 4 races, so she ran her 4. So this year, if she really wants to, she can push and try to get Rookie.
Okay.
I missed Rookie of the Year by 1 race my first year, and it ate at me forever, so I figured I'd make sure she at least had the opportunity
Had
to
the
do it.
chance.
So did you, as far as working on the car with your dad, did you learn about working on the car yourself?
No.
You didn't? You just drove, huh?
Because he did everything himself. Every time I tried to help, it was move.
You wouldn't let her help?
Oh, she sanded it.
Yeah,
Okay.
like
She
a
did.
fender.
Well, she tried.
Didn't like change spark plug?
No.
Did you put gas in it?
Yeah.
You've got to
Couple
put gas
times.
in it. Change the oil.
I think I helped him do that once.
Check tire pressures.
But he did more of it than I did. So.
Check tire pressures.
No, he
Didn't do
did it.
that. You did that. God,
He didn't
Dad.
let me do nothing.
You're supposed to be teaching her,
Yeah.
teaching the kid how to do all
You
this.
showed her how to beat Jeff Gordon.
Whoa, 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 whoa. There's no reason for low blows here, Bill. I'll tell you what, if she can drive like him, I'll come out really happy. That was good.
You're gonna pay, you like that, huh? You're gonna pay for that. You know that.
Yeah.
You gonna make her help a little bit more, change oil or something on it this year?
We'll see.
Maybe
No.
she'll give you better feedback on what it's doing, right?
I tried. He didn't believe me.
I know. You're standing there and you can see it. Well, have you ever watched her race?
Well, I know
Yeah.
when the car's not trying to turn. It's probably just something, and then he figures out it's this, and I was like, I told you.
How do you make those turn?
I don't think he wants to give away that secret. does
Yeah, I know. You probably can't. You probably shouldn't. Are they tough to work to make turn? You can't change the size of the tire from side to side.
Right, we're not allowed to do any kind of stagger, wheel offset, or anything like that. Actually, I guess we are allowed a half an inch offset. Not that, but I think that's just the factory difference in rims so they have to give us a little bit of a deal there. But we always run matching wheels and tires anyway, just so if you get one flat, it doesn't matter what you put on it.
You just
don't
grab
have
it and go.
Yeah. I'm stuck because I have bigger tires on the front, smaller tires on the back. But my back tires and all four of hers are the same size, so they can
They can
we don't
swap.
really have to worry about what tire we're putting on.
I'm going to ask you a question just because I don't know. Baby Bobby knows. Can you lock the differential up in those? Can't.
Nope, that's a big no-no.
Okay.
So what kind of adjustments do you guys have?
Well, you want him to
as
give
far-
away that speed secret?
Well, no, what kind of things can you do? Is it mainly like air pressures, or you can't change springs?
As
or
far as the
nothing?
handling and stuff goes, you can modify your springs. You can't change them. You can't go to an aftermarket, but you can cut them or you can heat them. Try to get the car set down a little bit lower to the ground. That does help. Your camber and caster you're allowed to mess with. And pretty much the way the rules are written, the parts have to be stock to the car. So I have a 95 to 99 Neon. Well, the body's a 96, the block's a 99, the head's a 97. Everything's mixed match to what needs to be to do what it needs to do. Bigger throttle bodies on an automatic than there are on a stick. There's just stuff you can Google that
Sure. Now,
factory parts are factory parts.
what about her car? Did you ever drive it, or it's
I drove it around the block, but as you can see, there's about a 90-pound difference between me and her, and yeah,
So
her
just
seat
trying
don't
to-
like me.
Yeah, I know. So just trying to get feedback. I was wondering how you did that.
Watch. When she goes out for hot laps, that's pretty much about the most I could do. Honestly. She kept complaining the car wasn't turning at one point, so I'm adjusting air pressures and doing the touchy-feely check-it-out thing, and finally we took it to the shop, put it in there. A couple of bolts had worked loose, and the right front tire, the car was going from negative camber to positive camber. Well, guess what? Car wasn't going to turn like that.
That would make a difference. Yeah.
And tightened it up, and it helped.
So you couldn't feel that in the steering wheel to come in and tell Dad that, hey, the right front tire's messed up.
No.
Well, she said it wouldn't turn.
So what do you want to do this year? Do you want to race a couple different tracks? You want to stay at Slime Speedway? You want to try Hayes?
I don't know. I'd rather race different tracks, but I don't really want to go anywhere else and not know the track.
Sure.
Yeah.
Seat time.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
That don't work.
Get her going
obviously.
faster at Salina, then she'll want to go somewhere else.
Oh, yeah.
No.
We get the car where we're on the same page, knowing everything that's going on with it from the mechanic side of it and the driving side of it. When it hits, she's gonna know what she's supposed to be feeling.
She'll have one good night, and then then things will be on. Then Dad, look out! I'll be passing you.
Yeah. Think you can beat him?
No.
Why not? So I think what I was trying to ask him was, do you have the faster car or do you have the slower car?
I don't know. Don't ask me.
What do you think, Dad?
Her motor is better than mine.
You gotta just stand on the gas.
Yeah. Easier said than done, right?
Yeah.
So were you nervous with the other cars around you or anything?
No.
Didn't care?
Except for when him and Bailey come up, 2 of them beside me and go right past me. I was like, oh my God.
It passed you both at two
Him
at a time.
and Bailey at the same time.
Me and Dallas got you once too. That was
and
really
him
good.
and Dallas.
Me and Dallas, I don't think you could have put a pop can in between the cars on each side when we went around or going through turn 2.
Really?
Oh, it was good.
Oh, shoot.
You've made some friends and stuff out there, and it's a fairly tight-knit group, I think, that you race with. You guys have a lot of fun?
Yeah, we try. I mean, it's always a lot better to get along with everybody, I think, than it is to not. I mean, I got a couple of friends that say there's no friends when you're on the track, and okay, I agree, you don't need friends on the track, but you sure as hell don't want enemies either.
No.
So it's a lot cheaper to keep them all happy.
You got one buddy that you didn't answer his phone call last Friday night.
Oh, which one was that?
Chris Walker. You got a phone
No,
call.
I called. Oh, yeah, he called me. I was already in bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's a
called
good
him.
thing you were,
Why?
because it was just him and I trying to load his car up by ourselves. We got her pushed in there,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Hey, it would have
Where
took
was
me
this at?
Over at the shop, yeah.
about 2 blocks from my house.
He called you. Hey, I can get Paco. He'll come over and help.
At that shop.
He
That's
didn't.
where he works on it at.
Yeah.
Up the ramp.
Yeah, we pushed
Oh,
it.
no, not at my shop.
No.
No.
Chris's
No,
shop.
we were at
Oh, okay. I know where you were.
at
Yeah.
Clemus shop, yeah.
Okay.
But, yeah, we got her. He said, you steer and I'll push. Okay, well, we got halfway up the door and it stopped. And so I ran around the back and, yeah, it wasn't fun.
It's good for you.
No, it wasn't. We got her loaded up.
You were sleeping already, huh?
Oh, yeah, I was sick the last half of last week and all through the weekend. Yesterday morning was the first time I actually felt good for about the first 3 hours of the day, then I was tired.
Wow.
Starting to come around now, finally.
What do you do for work?
I'm a welder.
Welder?
Yeah.
Okay.
Out
Where
at
at?
El Dorado.
El Dorado. Keep you busy?
Yeah.
How long you been out there?
3 years.
3 years. Brittany got a job?
No.
Nope, you don't. You just go to school, drive a
Yep.
race car.
Yep.
That ain't a bad thing. So we changing colors or anything?
Mm-mm.
Gonna repaint the car? It's all gonna be the same.
Yeah.
Yep.
She did really good. There's like one scuff mark on the front fender.
No, the back. He
No.
got the back.
Your left front fender's got a scuff mark on it.
Spellmeyer got the back, too.
Okay, well then I guess there's one on the front and one
Oh,
on the
you
back.
got one on the, yeah.
And the biggest scuff's actually on the bumper from the toolbox on my trailer.
Yeah.
It blew open on the way home one night and knocked all the pretty pink paint off the bumper.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, darn it.
Other than that, I mean, she did really good on keeping the car clean. I was proud of her. My first year, I brought a car, came back. I mean, I've crushed beer cans that look prettier than that car did. So.
So yeah, this year she's going to get in there and be trading paint with you guys. So she's going to need to be learning mechanic work and body work, and
She'll at least know where the hammer is at all times.
So how to get scuffed on the back and the front? Did you do that?
No.
Were you driving
I
it?
didn't.
Were you driving it when it happened?
Yes.
Okay.
did it
That
happen
means
on
you
the
did it.
racetrack? Did it happen on the racetrack? Okay, good.
And I didn't do it.
I mean, I didn't want you wrecking in the shop or
No.
in the pits or something. Okay, good.
Yeah,
Who'd you
we've
run-
blown motors up in the shop. If we wreck a car in there, we're going to have a problem.
Oh, no.
Who'd you run into?
Spellmeyer.
Spellmeyer.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't see him? Didn't know he was there?
No, I think he hit the slick spot because I hit it before, the lap before. And then when he came around, I think he hit it too. And he just come out of it right and got the back of the car. After that, he was fine.
It was a rub. It wasn't like a big hit or anything. He had a good time with it.
Rubbin's racing. That's okay to rub fenders.
Yeah.
Just don't do it too hard because Daddy don't like fixing them.
Well, if you'd let me help, we wouldn't have this problem.
Do you have a preferred spot on the track you like to run? Up high against the
No.
wall, down low? It don't matter?
No.
Where does your car like to go? Do you know?
Well, I think it ran pretty good going like down low and then higher in the turns. But I was always being flagged down, so I don't know.
Who was flagging you down?
The flag guy.
He was getting you out of the way?
Yeah, when there's
Well, you
tons of
need
space, like they'd go by me and they'd be far enough ahead that I could have stayed where I was at, but he's still flagging me down.
So you need to work on that this summer. They
Not
don't need to
really.
be flagging you.
I was just fine.
Just hammer down.
Yeah.
Just go for it.
Go faster.
They'll get out of your way.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's a girl. Yeah. Get out of my way.
Just what you do, I'll give you a piece of advice, okay? This works for me.
Oh, here you go.
Okay?
Yeah. Listen
Come
to
up,
Bill.
Do your hot laps. Come back and talk to Bobby, and he'll tell you. And then go run a heat race and come back and talk to Bobby, and he'll tell you what to do. That works for me.
Just keep in mind, it's like setting up a dump truck.
Oh,
Because
boy.
Bobby doesn't mince any words. He will
I
tell you
understand.
what you got to do.
Yeah, I have fun with Bill. Yeah. Gotta-
Don't change nothing. You got to drive. Say it,
gotta
Bobby.
Stand on the gas. Get them elbows up.
That's what he
Go.
tells me. You can't do anything like that. That's what he said.
Yeah.
I got to tell you something.
It's fun.
I got to tell you something.
Okay.
After one of our last shows, with Derek on the show,
Yeah.
his mom actually thought you and Derek beat up on me pretty hard. Yep. I live with that, folks.
Well, it's all in fun, though, Bill.
For you. But anyhow, you go see Bobby, okay? And he'll tell you.
Okay.
I promise.
Oh.
Well,
You got people that come and yell at you? How you're driving?
No.
Not the wife? She don't yell at you? Really?
You need Bobby to come visit you too, then.
I might. Usually when I get out of the car, I'm yelling enough for everybody.
He'll get
so
you
it's
in the
all right.
racing mood, I promise.
I'll tell you that last night of the year, you're talking about pep talks. I've only been nervous twice. First night I ever went out, and the first night she went out. Well, the last night of the year is the first time I've went in the last race of the season having an actual shot to get a title. Every other time I've either been 9 points behind and we only had 8 cars, so I couldn't make it up, or, it was
Right.
20-point gap. There was just no legitimate way for me to get it done. I go into that one, I'm having a pretty decent shot. So go up to the stands, kind of stop by the gate, for a minute, and Tony Slothire's walking the other direction. He goes, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "Well, I don't have any idea why, but I'm nervous as hell. Last night of the year, I actually got a shot to win this thing. I feel like I'm going to throw up." I mean, don't be a pussy. Just get in your damn car and drive it. Best pep talk I ever had. 10 minutes later, it started raining.
Yeah, get in your car and go. Everybody out there's heard this story. That night, this guy drew a 2. I was going to start outside pole.
Front row. And it didn't happen, did it?
No.
I know that.
And I had the car.
We needed to do, yeah.
I did.
We needed to race that night.
We did. Everybody needed to. You needed it too.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. He's getting information on his phone. This will be good.
No, I'm getting money.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Thank
Bobby
you.
bought a couple beers. Thanks, Bobby.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Bobby.
that. And who's the who's our barmaid tonight?
Jenny.
What?
Jenny.
Jenny. Thanks, Jenny. Appreciate you coming by. Thank you. Right here at Chuck's, folks. Come on down and join us.
No.
You need anything? Bobby bought adult beverages, but I'm sure we can swing a pop.
She's got her pop. I was asking her if she wanted it.
Yeah, it would have been a different season if everybody. I mean, it wasn't going to help me any, but it'd have been a fun race. But it
Yeah.
would have been a different season if we'd have got that show in.
I know it.
I'm actually pretty
And-
sure my car would have blown up again.
Well, that's not a good way to feel.
Well, I mean, I drove it literally off the trailer into my shop, and the head gasket went out in that short trip. So I'm pretty sure we would have had some fireworks. I probably would have ended up like 4th in points if we would have ran that night. So I probably shouldn't be upset that we didn't get to run, but you know, it's just what could have been.
Yeah, but there were a lot of people that wanted to run that night.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I would have rather blown up and finished 4th and at least had a shot than not actually get the shot.
Then to blow up on the trailer or in the shop.
Done that too.
But it's more fun when you do it racing.
It tends to make a more interesting show out
Yeah,
of it.
yeah, it does.
I can handle blowing motors. I don't like it when wheel bearings break. That upsets me.
That's no fun, is it?
No. And you know, the bad thing is I had ran wide open almost the entire night. I wasn't giving that car any kind of a break, and everything was good. That last
no
lap,
wonder
I
it
see
blows up.
No, I see the white flag come out, and I'm thinking, you know what? I know I'm ahead. I've got this thing. I just need to back off and just run a clean lap. First time I let off the gas going into 1, car sets nice. I hammer the gas going into 2, and whack, there it goes.
God.
So the night I won, I don't think I ever lifted. It probably why it was 300 degrees when I won. She wasn't getting me twice.
Really?
You didn't eat chicken that night, did you?
No.
Are you superstitious?
I am very, very, very superstitious.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I am. But the night that I won, somebody ate chicken, and the night that my wheel bearing had broke, they had bought chicken and realized what they did and threw it away. So I'm not really sure how the whole chicken thing is working for me. I just don't want to have nothing to do with it.
I know the feeling.
Isn't that crazy? So is there anything else other than chicken, like green or?
You know, the green thing, that I can't say anything. I had green numbers on a car, finished 2nd with it. So
I remember when Blocklinger came out with that green car, and he crashed and he crashed and he crashed, and yeah, I gave him hell about the green car. And I think the next year he came out with a blue one or something, and he won like the first night out. See
Yeah.
what happens when you get
Get
that
rid of the green.
off there? Yep. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of green, and I'm not a big fan of chicken on race day.
Boy, if you're ever wearing a green shirt, coat, pants, you probably won't be wearing. Don't ever go by the Lagoons.
Really?
Oh boy, yeah,
By the way,
they're all about green.
what color's that?
No, it's not green. It's teal.
Okay. You
What
know
color
me.
is it, Bill?
It looks green to me. It's my world.
That's gotta be weird being colorblind. How would you? I don't know. Yeah.
It is. It's different.
Be different. So no wonder you drive a race car like you do.
What's that supposed to mean?
I wasn't going to go there.
How you know what color of flag you're looking at?
Well, they always start the race with the green flag.
Not always.
Have you ever seen them start it with the caution flag?
I guess not.
I got that covered.
Got the green cover now. And then they're on the lights.
I had to memorize.
You know what?
At the old Salina Speedway, I had to memorize what lights were what
What order they're in?
what order they're in when
Yeah.
they come on. But I mean, usually everybody's going around me before I get in the gas anyhow, so
So you think it's
time to go.
So you think they start with a yellow, huh?
I think we're gonna, you know what? Maybe I could put something on my car that when they throw the green flag, the throttle automatically goes to wide open. Then
Yeah.
I'll be going.
Yeah.
I usually
Just
know when
throw
we
a
start.
brick.
You know.
Just throw a brick on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Maybe I'll try Paco's deal and run it wide open and see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
See if I can make it stick.
I am not responsible if Bill crashes into the wall.
Paco said.
Yeah. Yeah. Get the wrecker ready.
Oh golly, yeah. It's a trip being in my world, you know, and then you know with the receivers now I know when there's a caution coming out, so that's fine.
They holler at you.
And the
yeah.
white flag I can see, checkered flag I can see it when I get to it. It's just that somebody always gets there first.
Yeah, that receiver thing. I can't believe they didn't come out with that way before they did. I mean,
At first, you know, it was annoying to me because you got to remember this was my first year back with, and I've never had one, you know. But after I got used to it, and when one night it didn't work, I was like,
does it kind of scare you when they holler at you all of
yeah,
a sudden?
yeah.
I hate them.
It
hate 'em?
It does.
Yeah.
Because the only time they ever tell us anything is if we're going green, and that's about it.
Well, in
Really?
all fairness, we had less cautions this year than
Still,
anybody
the
else
point
did,
is
so
everybody else
you
gets
haven't had
updates.
to hear
We
that.
don't.
Stop your car. It's on its lid in 3. On its lid in 3. You know.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Oh, who was that?
Is they don't
I was the
talk
guy on
enough.
his lid in 3.
Could you hear him saying
We
it?
had like 3
Yeah.
cautions, and we were still going because she never said, "Hey, caution, caution," you know.
So would you like for them to talk during the race? I mean, to tell
No.
you there's a lap car? Or, yeah. No, I don't think.
No.
No,
don't
I just
think
like
that-
them to tell us when there's more cautions. And,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But they're not really specific about that with my class. It really seems like they don't care. So.
Gotcha.
I don't know. I mean, no. I don't know. That part doesn't bother me.
I mean, as far as the lineups,
That's cool.
they've definitely helped speed the show up.
Except for
Yeah,
in my
lineups.
class, there's like 3 70s.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
70 me, 70 T, and 70
So you,
Morse.
yeah, have a hard time with that, I'm sure. Yeah.
And I can hear the beat. Yeah, whatever. Anyhow, you like the receiver thing?
I've gotten used to it.
What at first?
I mean, that first year, I was still running Minneapolis when they first made us put them in. And, I mean, I was the first guy in our class to try them out because I rolled my car the first night. But,
Were they talking when you was upside down?
yeah, I was the guy on the lid. I mean, I like them. I mean, I really do. I mean, I understand where she's coming from. There's times we won't hear literally
Or
anything.
they don't tell us to go green, and they
Yeah.
just have to take off on their own.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a bunch of different things. If there's not one switch flipped upstairs, we're not going to hear anything because they're not putting out anything to us. You know, I mean, there's just a bunch of different things.
The person talking on those can make a world of difference in the racing program, I think, because I've watched, well, like on Speed Shift TV and some of the stuff on the internet, you can watch and you can actually hear the people on the receivers, and first thing they do is thank the guys for
Yep.
coming, on the racetrack. You're going to run 10 laps. You guys need to get bunched up on the back straightaway. I mean, you can.
See, they don't do that at Salina Speedway.
That's what I've never listened. I
You need
wondered
to
how
listen
they.
sometime. I've got a set I'll bring and let you listen. They tell us, we're going to go green at the bottom of turn 4 at the double barrels at the bottom of turn 4.
Yeah.
And then, that's it. They don't
That's
tell
it.
us how many laps. They don't say halfway. They leave that up to the flagman, I suppose. And then, they'll tell us if there's a caution on the track or something
Sure.
like that, which is what I use it for.
Yeah.
See, that
I don't
kinda-
know about you.
That kind of drives me nuts when other people have a receiver and they're like sitting up in the stands or something. Because if you don't slow down, like right the minute they throw the yellow flag, they'll walk up behind you. Why didn't you slow down? Why didn't you slow down?
Oh. Yeah.
It's like, you got to give us time, guys.
Yeah.
You sit up there and watch. You're not in the car, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times the car will spin into, you know, when you're halfway down the backstretch, if they're not right on the receiver, I'm already out of turn 4 when they kick the lights on if the car didn't get going again, you know, and then all of a sudden everybody's, they threw that caution really late, blah, 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 blah. Well, what can you do?
Yeah.
You got to give them a shot.
Yeah.
I
And,
mean,
you know, people thought I should add a couple cautions, that they should have announced, hey, you know, caution, because I spun a couple times, but I didn't sit there. I flipped the car around and took off
And
again.
got
I
going.
wasn't wasting no time.
Yeah.
But I agree with you, Bobby. I think you're right. You know, thank you for coming out. You know, bunch up nice and tight here, guys. We're going to go green coming out of 4.
Yeah.
You know, 16 laps, 15 laps, 10 laps, whatever we got. You know, and you know, nice, calm voice, I think, would work wonders.
Exactly.
You know, and I've heard that, and that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. And then after the race, they call out the numbers, top.
Yep, top
you
4
know,
to the tech lane or whatever.
To the scales, and
Great race. Thanks,
thank
guys,
everybody
for coming.
and good luck.
I think that
next
goes a long
weekend.
ways.
Yeah, exactly. So,
You guys gonna
there's
run?
Things you can
Go
do.
ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that'd be cool to.
A lot of things have
Visit with
changed, you know, in the years that I sat out, but I do like those, and it helps me with my color blindness stuff. So,
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Paco, any plans for any spring shows this year? You know, they're coming up fairly quick.
no, I don't have any.
You know, as mild as a winter we've really had, not a whole lot of snow and stuff. It's still been chilly enough to where I really haven't wanted to get in the shop and work on my stuff. I don't know about you.
I literally haven't touched them. I'm telling you, every year I go through a funk for a little while where I just don't really want to have anything to do with it, and it wears off, and then
and you're
we
ready
go.
to go.
And
Is it
it's-
because you get so burnt out during the year, you
I
think?
think a lot of it. I think that's a lot of it.
Changing
it's-
engines, changing this, doing that.
Yeah, I mean, this year was just a little tough because, I mean, I had the 2 cars, and for once I had issues with mine. I never have issues with mine. I've always been really fortunate to have real consistent, steady equipment, and this year I actually had issues.
Does that,
A little more work.
and I'm just going to ask because I'm sure, you know, losing by 1 point, that had to really bite.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to be nice here. That's not a poke the bear kind of thing.
I
That
don't-
just really has to stink.
It goes, I don't know, the only thing I've ever wanted was that championship.
Sure.
And to finish second every year, Bill.
How
every
many
year.
years you been trying?
6.
6
Well,
years.
7 years. I ran the Mustang the 1 year. I don't count it. I set out half the year when I blew my motor. But, I mean, that was, I still finished 6th.
What'd you do with that Mustang? Did it go somewhere else, or is,
Yeah,
or is it in race car heaven?
No, there's another individual that has it.
Okay, that's, you know, we don't need to know who has it, but I just didn't know if it ended up in race car heaven.
No,
I've
think-
seen a couple cars go to race car heaven.
Yeah, I honestly, I wanted it to go to race car heaven because I had, that was not a very good year for me.
I know
but-
you struggled with that car.
Yeah, but it went to somebody that had a personal attachment to it, so
Okay.
it went someplace where it.
Is it
it
not
was
being
in-
used as a race car anymore?
No, it's sitting right at the moment. I mean, I think if Salina maybe would have kept the mini stocks around another year, it might have came back out.
What,
But
what did you think of their decision to get rid of the mini stocks and just do the sport compacts?
you know,
I mean, it's water under the bridge now. I
it's-
just want to know how you felt.
It's kind of a touchy, not really touchy subject. The opinions go both ways because I do have so many friends that ran mini stocks. My biggest thing with it is you had one class that was so locked in we could not touch the front wheel drive cars. I mean, it's same IMCA rules, we were not allowed to do squat. The mini stocks, by comparison, had a wide open book that you could bore, cam, I mean, you could do buttloads of stuff to those. We weren't allowed to just because we had to stay IMCA legal. You give them that much play to one group and absolutely none to the other, and look at what happened. It was a mockery.
I don't like those combined class things. I mean, I just don't think it works.
But you know, it's so hard to make the transition. I mean, what do you? Thunder Hill went through it with their modifieds, going from wide open deal, spoilers, roller cams, motors to IMCA, and they pretty much took them like 2 years, didn't it, to finally get it.
We're still dealing with that in the late model class. Some of us have great engines and some don't.
And so, the same deal. How do you? You can't ever make everybody happy, but to kind of weed out the guys with the mini stocks. What do you do?
Well, and I agreed to do it at the beginning of the year, so I kept trying to get my car faster. I did everything I could to try to get them without putting myself in a spot where I could get DQ'd.
Right.
And there's just eventually you get to a point where you just run out of stuff you can do.
And it's hard for the promoter and the guys with the rules. They about have to pick on the mini stock guys.
Yeah. You had to pick on one or the other.
Right.
You couldn't get guys that were allowed to run like 81 rules to come up here if they weren't allowed to do the stuff that you're already allowed to do. But a guy from Hayes couldn't come down and run with us if, they had to do this, this, and this. So, mixing the classes they got a car count. That was the only thing that they could really get with it.
Yeah.
And eventually I just think it played itself out when you had like 2 or 3 cars that did good.
Yeah.
And the rest of them just couldn't do it.
Right.
It'd be tough.
Yeah. And I started behind the 8-ball with the Mustang. By the time I got it to where I could actually drive it, it just weighed so much more than the motor we built.
Wouldn't you love to have them days back like at Minneapolis when they were getting like 30 of them things?
Man, you don't know what I would do to have to run a B feature again.
That was awesome.
What do you think happened along the way?
Facebook.
Oh.
Really?
Facebook. I'll leave it at that. Facebook is the devil. Too many keyboard commandos.
Most of them guys quit.
Well,
a lot of them. Some of them did move up, but.
Oh yeah, a lot of guys moved up. And a lot of guys moved on.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it did honestly have to do with when Minneapolis shut down, because a lot of the guys that ran in my class anyway were farm towns, small towns out there. They didn't have to go anywhere to race.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, now the ones that we have here, pretty much mainly everybody's from Salina. Every once in a while you get the guys that come down from Hayes, which is, it's a good thing for us. We need the cars, but.
No, I know my son Ryan started in one of those and went to a sport mod, and then he jumped into a late model. Who else moved up amongst the class?
Josh Rice started with us.
And then he went to a sport mod. Now he's not racing anymore.
No. I know Hackett had went to a hobby stock before he got done racing.
They got completely out of racing too.
Yeah, it was actually the last car that Kevin was driving was the one that Bailey Glavin was driving this year.
Okay.
We've talked about this quite a few times on the radio about having the sport compact class is not really the sport compact class isn't really and I'll get your take on this, a good learning class to move on to like a hobby stock or a sport mod. Do you feel that way? Have you ever drove a hobby stock or a
I've
sport
hot
mod
lapping. I've never drove one in a race. No, just hot lapping them. I've been fortunate to make friends with some other classes that have actually trusted me with their equipment. Whether that was a real smart decision on their half, I'm not going to say, but I didn't hit a wall, so but everybody's still happy about it. I think it serves its purpose as far as you're going to be a clean driver, you're going to be a dirty driver. You're going to be one or the other either way. So I think as far as getting your name out, so people are going to know, he's not going to do it on purpose.
Right.
Or it'll earn you the benefit of the doubt. It'll get you used to having cars around you.
Right.
But you still got to turn the car totally different when cars are around you, no matter what you're in. So
I believe that racers on the racetrack will take care of the dirty driver thing. You know, it'll either get to the point where you get tired of fixing your stuff or you'll wise up. One of the two.
Yeah.
You know, but I think my theory has always been with sport compacts, they don't teach you how to race, but they teach you to race in a crowd.
Exactly. They teach you what it's like to have cars around you.
Right, but they don't teach you how to race because everything changes from that when you go to a rear-wheel drive car. Now, I've never driven a
only
front-wheel
teach
drive
you-
car, but I can't see how it would. I mean, it's got to turn a whole lot different than anything I've ever driven.
Oh, I'm sure.
They only teach you how to drive a front-wheel drive car.
Yeah.
I mean, you can take aspects of any other car and work it into any other car that's rear wheel, but a front wheel drive is only going to drive like a front wheel drive.
Right.
So in that aspect, yeah. I mean,
I think it gets you comfortable with the cars around you, and I think that's important.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
but I don't know if it'd be the starting spot for everybody.
Yeah, I'm sure the suspension part of it, you know, the working of the car has to be way different. I mean,
Oh yeah, I can only imagine. You've worked on them, so maybe you know you should have a general idea.
I mean,
I think you've tried to set up a couple of these, haven't you? Or-
yeah, when Tim was Chevrolet, when his boy Matt was running the sport compact car, yeah, we kind of went back and forth on stuff, and yeah, was helping, and yeah, they're
They're a different breed.
a handful, I'm sure. Yeah.
I kind of like them.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Brittany, you know, we've been at this an hour now. It's about time we can go as long as we want to, but any sponsors you want to thank? Do you remember your sponsors?
All of them.
Well,
I mean, there's not certain ones.
That's a good answer.
I don't remember them, so.
perfect.
All
of them.
All
Okay.
of them.
Can you name any of them?
M&D Lawn Care, Hill Job Graphics, Perry's Auto Repair, Walker Racing, what else?
Misfit Motorsports.
Misfit Motorsports, and that's about it.
Mom
that's
and
all
Dad. Mom and Dad.
Mom and Dad.
Yeah.
Don't forget Mom and Dad.
And WFO Construction and the Jackson Fuller.
And WFO Construction and the Jackson Fuller Youth Racing Fund.
What about you, Paco? Who do you have on your car?
All the same.
Really?
Yeah, we
So you're gonna go with all of them too?
yeah.
All
Yeah.
of them?
All of them.
I got to add Adam Hummel in on mine and
Oh,
Josh
yeah?
Howard. They Josh was my #1 pit bitch, and Adam helped us get the cars to the track as soon as Britney started racing. So really bailed me out of a couple of headaches there.
Two cars get to the racetrack. That's pretty tough.
Yeah. When you have one trailer and no truck, it helped a lot. I mean, I'm crazy. I'll drive mine out there if I have a blocker, but she wasn't gonna do that.
Have you done that?
I will not say I haven't.
Yeah, I learned today that you can get in trouble for something. Never mind. Don't admit to it.
Never admit.
So obviously, goals for this year is to go out there and not finish second again, right? What are we gonna do different?
Hey, I got an idea. When it comes down to the last race, change wheel bearings.
There you go.
We got jokes. Well, the main thing I've always went into every season is to never finish worse than I did the year before. I haven't failed yet. I haven't gotten the big one yet, but I haven't failed.
Man, if I would finish second that many years in a row, I mean, I'm sure it gets frustrating, but
I didn't have gray hair before then.
Oh. That had to make you sick to your stomach to lead that whole race and have it a part failure like that.
Yeah, it hurt. That hurt.
Had you had it apart before? Had you ever replaced that part?
I hadn't actually replaced it. The bad thing is, I actually had it up on jack stands in my shop. And I had actually was checking everything out, and there wasn't any play there. Well, what was going on was that rotor was wedged right in the caliper, and it happened to match the camber angle good enough that it didn't stick out to me. And I had complained that, a couple of races before that, man, for some reason about halfway through the feature, it almost seemed like that right front tire was trying to drag. Well, we couldn't find it. I could not figure out what was going on. I thought the car was blowing up. Halfway through the heat race, I was running third, and then all of a sudden, boom, car just took off. Well, if you looked at the wheel bearing, there's a big heat mark on it where it was wedging in and coming out. And I think it was binding up going through 3 and 4, and it had released during the heat race, and then all of a sudden when I unloaded the car going through 1 and 2, as soon as I got back on the gas, it just had enough force in there to sheared it off. I mean, I kept it around, and it's sitting on a shelf in my shop just to remind me not to do that again.
Yeah. Hang it up on your wall. Yeah.
It's near enough by that I won't forget it. Well,
Anything else you want to cover before we turn you loose?
no, I'm good.
Brittany, anybody else you want to thank?
Well, we want to wish both of you good luck this summer, and you can finish higher than 8th in points, and Dad can win a points championship for the first time.
That'd be pretty spectacular.
That'd be a good summer, huh?
Sounds like we've written the book.
Yeah, somebody's just got to get off their ass and put a car together before then.
Better get busy.
Thursday is supposed to be like 80 degrees out.
I know. I keep hearing that, but it seems like every time it gets nice, I come up with something else that I need to do.
65 degrees tomorrow, 80-something Thursday.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
You betcha.
Can't complain about that in February.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had the furnace on out there this weekend, cleaning up, kind of getting ready and looking what I needed to do, thinking, oh boy.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, we got Daytona 500 coming up Sunday. You guys NASCAR fans?
Oh, yeah.
Who do you think's going to win it?
Who we rooting
Junior.
for?
Junior?
You're Junior fans? You too?
No, I don't vote for nobody.
You don't go for nobody?
I don't even pay attention to it half the time.
What? Come
not?
on. Got to be a
'Cause
race
I don't
fan.
care.
So everybody in your house is a Junior fan other than her?
No, my wife was a Gordon fan. She hasn't, I don't think, the retirement settled into her head
She
yet.
hadn't switched
so.
to a Chase
I
Elliott?
tried to get her to just go to Chase.
Yeah.
I was a Senior
kid's good.
fan, and when Senior died, I went to the Sun.
Yeah.
To me, that was the most logical choice.
Sure, I did the same thing.
And
I think the kid's going to be good.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
real high on him. I think he's going to do real good.
I do too. Yeah.
I'm glad that they didn't have any kind of a layover without the numbers, so they completely got rid of the whole what they had to deal with the 3.
Yeah.
Granted, totally different circumstances between dying on a track and retiring,
Yeah.
but at least this way they didn't let the numbers sit out for a couple of years and everybody be like, oh, it needs to be retired.
Yeah.
At least now there's not going to be that layover in there.
Yeah.
I mean, he's already starting off on the right foot.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be something to beat.
I think
But,
he
I mean,
is.
Austin Dillon came out and set the pole with the 3 when he first brought it out, too, and I don't think the race treated him very good, if I remember.
No, it didn't.
No.
Well, I hope for a good race. I know we're going to see some crashes and stuff. That's unfortunate. It's part of Daytona, but I hope it's a clean race, and I hope it's a good one.
You too.
Not
Yep.
sure where I'm going to watch it at yet, but I'll find a spot.
While we're on the NASCAR stuff, what do you think about the new rules in the Truck Series having a 20-minute green flag deal? They're going to automatically throw
Hate
a
it.
caution? You hate it?
Hate it.
And what about the heat races in the Xfinity Series?
I haven't actually heard that one yet.
They're going to have 3 races. I think Bristol's one of them, where they're going to run 30-lap heat races to set the qualifying field. Going to try that out. So that'll be something.
I think
That'd
the
be
heat
something
race
to
thing
do.
is kind of okay in the Xfinity Series.
Yeah. I mean, you couldn't have it on a restrictor plate track, but
I think
On the short
I
tracks?
think the caution. I don't get that.
I know.
I do not understand. That's not racing.
No.
Yeah, If they did that in the Cup Series,
Everybody quit watching.
yeah, you would have
Yeah.
literally an absolute zero fan base. And when
Yeah.
they went to the playoffs system thing that they have now, that was a big turnoff to.
Oh my God.
And
I
see,
mean,
they're
'cause
going
I don't see where a playoff system belongs in auto racing in the first place.
They're
so.
going to implement that in the trucks and the Xfinity Series too.
We had
this year.
Bobby's dad and Sam Britton on the show a 3 weeks ago, and those guys hate this idea.
Is Brittany leaving us? Thank you for being
Thanks,
on.
Brittany.
We'll probably be done when you come back.
Those guys hate that.
Yeah,
It's not racing to me.
It's not to me either. I mean, I don't like seeing a guy win a championship by 300 points, which they,
That's
were
what
really
they were
close
trying to
a
get
few
rid
times.
of. Yeah.
But capping it out the way they're doing, eliminating people, I don't know. I'm just not a fan of it.
And it's still, I don't understand how you can sit out half the season,
That
come in and win the championship.
But in all fairness, the way they said you had to do it,
he did it.
he did it.
He
He
did
did
it.
it.
He did it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there were guys in
But
the
there
chase
has
that
to-
didn't win any
he had
races.
to work his butt off to
that,
I
and
know,
get
but
where he did, but
I think you need to award the guys that have been there all year.
yeah.
Reward. That's
I mean,
what
it's
meant.
kind of like a job situation where you have, you got sick pay and all this other. I mean,
Really? He's a good driver. There's no doubt
Oh,
about
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It's just wow. I just don't understand how that happened.
And Tony Stewart's going to go through the same thing this year. I mean, I hope.
And Tony said he's
I
not
hope he
coming back.
gets- I hope he goes, but
He's not going to extend his season. He's not going to race next year.
Yeah.
He's got other things he wants
that
to do.
really sucks out. To start out
Yeah.
like that, but
And maybe Tony, and then I'll eat my words. Maybe Tony wins a championship at this year,
Yeah.
I'd like to see him do it one more time.
yeah, I hope
He's done a
Yeah.
lot for racing,
exactly.
I kind of thought he would take over for Earnhardt at some point in time, but he just never could get it together,
No.
Maybe starting his own team was too hard on him. I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, everybody else on his team seemed to have success except for him after that
Yeah.
first championship.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, he came
Yeah.
out of the gate strong with him.
He
and
did.
It's like he gave everything to Harvick to prove,
Harvick's
to reward him for coming over. And
Harvick's had a killer fast car. And,
Oh,
but
yeah.
also
Yeah.
at the same time, I think all the off-track stuff Tony's had to go through the last few years.
Yeah.
They've
Yeah.
got away on him.
It
Yeah.
does. It does.
and that's
So,
Yep.
Paco, thanks for coming down. Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Thanks
Thanks.
for having me.
Your real name's Tracy, but everybody calls you Paco.
Yes,
It's
sir.
something that just stuck with you from a kid, or what?
Yeah, first job, Taco John's. My dad started calling me Paco to annoy the hell out of me, and my friends got a hold of it, and
It's
nobody
stuck,
calls me
huh?
Tracy anymore, so
Oh, darn.
All right.
nothing I can complain about.
That's right. Thanks a lot. We really appreciate you coming down tonight and being with us.
Pick you up a championship this year. By the
Go
way.
get one.
Yeah.
You've been at it long enough. Go get one.
That's what I keep trying to do, guys.
For Bobby Potts, David Cheveria, Bill Grant saying so long. We'll see you in a couple of weeks, I think. We'll put another show together, and then pretty soon we're going to be on 1150 KSL back on the radios. So
Yep. Come
be an
race
interesting
season.
summer. It's coming pretty quicker than I think we're ready for. So we'll see you in a couple of weeks right here on Race Talk Live online. For Bobby Potts, Bill Grant saying so long from Chuck's Bar, 600 North Santa Fe, beautiful downtown Salina.